So hello and good evening. Welcome to the Wow Chaingang. It is Women's Only Wednesday. It is the Chaingang. We're heading into December and something funny might be happening on the 25th. So if you do celebrate, enjoy. I clearly, as you can see, do not. I am the eternal Grinch. Hence, apart from that, time to get on with the Chaingang. So, quick update for you. We are on the Chainagng. It's a Wow Women's Only Wednesday, powered by Full Speed Events. We've got a cracking course for you. We are going to be running right the way over the Christmas period into the new year. Got loads of work on at Full Speed Events as well. So please do catch up with us and make sure that you know what we're getting up to. And even better, come and join us on some of the rides. Really great to see. Now, we are going to show you where we're heading because it is quite a tricky route. You can see just up there that we are going to Innsbruck. Now, there's lots of snow in the Austrian Alps at the moment. We actually have one of the family up there skiing at the moment, having a very nice time. Not jealous much, lots. But we're going to be in Innsbruck. We are going around a Innsbruck ring circuit. So we're not going right up into the mountains. But as you can see, the circuit has a number of bumps. We've got the flyover drag. That comes in at the 2.5 kilometre mark through to about 2.8 to 3. Then we have the big kicker. This is the leg snapper. You can see it coming in on our fantastic VeloViewer graphics. Please do make sure you give them your support. And that is going to take us in over. That goes from about 5k through that 5k marker. So really, really, really important that you make sure you know where you are when you're going over it. That crest is very, very sharp. That means that if you're not with the very front, you are likely to get distance. So really, really critical is staying with the group as the riders go up and over the top of the climb. Now, you can see on the 3D circuit, we're actually going to do that 4 times, that this actually really does make life a little bit tricky because it does add to all of those meters of ascent. Our yellow beacon today is going to be Alison Kinloch, the multi-time podium rider, a regular on the top spot of the stage, and a rider who we know is more than capable of staying with the very front of the race. At the back is going to be Emma, exchanging the yellow beacon for red, and hopefully going to have a little bit easier time than the rider that she was on yesterday. Well, while she may not say it, her team took the win in the team time trial. So good to have Emma out and riding. But enough from me down here in Santa's Grotto, a.k.a. the underground subterranean studio. Let's head across to the ride. Our riders are already heading out. And as you can see, we got Emma just dropping back a little bit just to give a little bit of a hand to some of those riders behind to get them back on. Let's dive in. It's the Wow Chaingang, live on the Full Speed Events YouTube channel. So riding in with Emma, our red beacon, who is tucked right in the middle of the group at the moment. If in doubt, don't forget we have got that late join, and great to see a number of new riders in here. Got some old riders returning as well. I'm sure I've seen Joanne Clay in here. Joanne, one of our regular riders in the Chainagng, is going to be tucked on the far side there in the orange. So Joanne, one of the regulars, Angela Webster in here as well. I'm sure I've seen Foxy on board. We've got Johnson in here. Pip Morn is in here. Martineau. Let's have a little check. I think we're going to get right up to our beacon, to our yellow beacon. That is Alison Kinloch. Alison leading the group along at the moment. So looks like Alison keeping everybody together at the moment. We're going to take a little bit of a close look on our map view here. We're going to zoom in a little bit onto the 3D map, top right-hand screen on the top of your view, and it looks like Emma going to just try to drop back for one of our riders coming in quick here. So looks like this is going to be Irina Osbisk, who is on her way up to the group at the moment. So Irina on her way up in towards the group. Our red beacon just dropping back to do a little bit of assistance back there. And Foxy, I think, just holding the back of the group. But Irina doing a great job here of motoring on solo until she was joined by, of course, Emma, our beacon. So the beacon gets on board. They make their way up into the group. That red beacon rejoining. We're going to jump in with Pip Morn at the moment as this group makes their way in and through. Now, quick reminder for you of the routes if you missed them. We have come straight out of those pens. If you're just joining us, let's give you a recap on the route. Top right hand side of your screen. Innsbruck Ring. We've done our lead in of 0.2k. We've got 4 laps, 8.8 kilometres. We will finish at that Innsbruck lap gantry at 35.4k with a warm down to 37 kilometres. The route, let's take a little bit of a check on there. So let's flick across and pull you the 3D map up. You can see that at the moment we're working our way around those lower slopes, heading towards the right-hand side of the course profile. We will then head around into the leg snapper. So the group rolling, the pace will of course ramp up. A reminder to everybody, don't forget the key point is when there are 3 G's, 3 O's, that is when things get very, very interesting indeed. That's when we're going to see the riders starting to lift the pace and really take this out. Alison Kinlock. Anybody else got to panic finish Christmas cakes? I never have to panic finish them. I always finish them very early. Eating them, of course. Now, seeing a few people on a late join. I think Izzy Torrey just joining on a late join here, just at the back. Yeah, Foxy's eating hers as well. No panic as well. Yeah. Full speed events cake got eaten by me already. Indeed. Always eating cake. Nothing wrong with a bit of cake. If you'll be at today's ride. Okay, so we're just going to take a little bit of a check as these riders are coming up. Just seeing Foxy, I think is actually in yet another kit. Let's have a little look. Posh is Foxy. She gets Marks and Spencer cakes. Not just any Christmas cake. This is Marks and Spencer's cake. So Foxy in there. Another new kit for Foxy, obviously. Is this a Christmas kit? I bet it's not. I bet there's one for every day of the week. So Foxy on her way up. Foxy, of course, absolutely talented rider, class act on a bike. But we must admit we do have regularly focusing on the fact that she's always wearing different kit, if only just to keep our lives tricky. Now, just at the moment in with Martino, who is, of course, in that Aeonian kit. So no, it's Baz, sorry, just in the Aeonian kit in front. I was going to say that looks like a multiple of teams. Baz on board, the rider from the Matlock side of the Peak District. Not all that far from Matlock. She can just drop down the hill there pretty much. On board, and good to see Maz right on the wheel of Emma here, our red beacon. Martino also doing the same. Foxy right in there. And a quick reminder, don't forget, the red beacon is there to help you, so do shout if you want a hand. So Morn tucked nicely in. This group is ticking along at the moment, rolling in. This Cookie, has joined us. Cookie by name and mince pies by nature today. Great to see Miss Cookie on board. I had the pleasure of riding with Miss Cookie on the Donny Chaingang members ride last night. All the way round the, I think it was out and back loop that we did. Can't remember, to be honest. Very nice it was too. Very nice spin round and a chat. Good to see Keith Richardson out there as well. Just seeing Karen just drop off the back here. Quick reminder, don't forget that the group are there. If you need a hand, do shout. Miss Cookie says she felt a star with her chaperones like you aren't star. So I'm just some bloke who used to be quite quick. You, young lady, are getting quicker and quicker, which is exactly what we want to see. Right, there we go. Let's give Miss Cookie a ride on. The lines down on top. So if in doubt, shout. If you need to hang it back on, just watch it, Karen. Drop off and jump back in again. Now, it looks to me like Cock at the moment, just distance. I would suggest doing a rejoin there. We will see. So Foxy abandoned last night's ZRL to DS. Nothing wrong with doing a bit of DS. Director Sportive duty as our riders make their way in through the cobbles here. You can see the hills in the distance. Those hills covered with far more snow at the moment. If in doubt, follow the feed from our family because somebody already up in those hills. Izzy Torrid nicely tucked in here. Izzy with her best race season so far. And great to see the results from Izzy, doing a great job. And riding, looking very, very strong this season on the bike. So don't forget, if you're down, give a shout. Our beacon's trying to keep an eye on everybody on the way through. Just getting one or two riders just jumping and diving into the group. So lots of news in today. Welcome to the ramp workout. Follow the yellow's instructions until the 3 G's and 3 O's. I don't dare say the words, but it's go repeated 3 times, because at that point everybody can indeed do that 3 times over. Now it's just watching Cookie here, nicely sat at the back here with Martineau from Canada. Then we've got Torrid holding the back of the group. It's just about holding together at the moment. Key marker, don't chase anybody off the front. Always really, really key. We basically tend to ignore them. That's how it works. We're just really good at that. We can do a blinding, don't bother chasing anybody who's decided that they can just, they need to go off the front. There's no need. Don't worry. Don't panic. You will find. It will ramp and you will get caught. Okay. So the other way you can join the main group is to hit the coffee break button. If you hit the coffee break button, which is on your main menu, let's see if we can make it pop up for you. You will see the coffee break button. Let's see if we can pull it on our screen. So I don't think we get it. We're not allowed to have it up for us. But if you get the coffee break button in across the middle of the screen, you see it pulling up in the middle of the screen there. You may well find that you can get it in there. If you get that coffee break button, you could hit it and it will take you back into the beacon group. Very handy. Particularly if you're just feeling the pace on the climb, just a little bit distance, it will magically pull you in. It is very cool. Using it at the 3 G's and 3 O's is regarded as bad form, but I'm not going to say anybody shouldn't use it, because you know what, I blinking would. Yeah, so hit the coffee break button, pulls you to the beacon. It's like magic. But if you're in front, if you hit the coffee break button, it also pulls you back to the beacon. That has also been done, so be warned, it is a proper double-edged sword. As the riders make their way up in towards the top. Looks like Emma, our red beacon, heading back for Miss Cookie already. So double-edged sword indeed, and as you can see, we've got Emma heading for Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie giving it some beans on this climb at the moment, to plus watts per kilo. Indeed, I would agree. Miss Cookie is indeed always trying. Now, main part of the group just about to come in towards the turn. It's jumping Sandra McKay. And we're going to take a little bit of a view from the side. And this is a really interesting view, because this gives us that sharp turn. You can see as we come up around the turn, the gradient instantly changes into a downhill. That means that if you're on the front will stretch out and speed up. If there are any gaps at all, you'll see that they are going to open very, very quickly indeed. That knife edge summit is absolutely terrifying in terms of opening the gaps up between the riders. Really is a key. Just try and stay in with that group to try and dodge those as you go in and through. So Pitmon just a little bit distance on the way through. Got Johnson for company at the moment. So Mia Johnson still chasing. Nicely tucked in there. Got company with Pip Morn. 22 seconds behind. It looks like Miss Cookie and our full speed events. Emma herself is tucked in there. At the moment is trying to do a little bit of a squeeze. I think 3 was good. Nicely pushing up on to the top. A yellow beacon, just bringing that group back together. And this is where we see that group coming back. Now, this course is notorious for breaking up. It's a very, very difficult one to keep control of and trying to bring the groups together. And one of the reasons it's often chosen by our leaders is because it allows a lot of practice at modulating your pace and your cadence, so kicking on and then pulling back, kicking on and pulling back in. And that is really, really critical. Now, Nick Soden in the gang as well. And we've got quite a group in here, nicely tucked together here, and just going to hold the pace in, working nicely at the moment. So it's going through the sprint line, the riders ticking on through together. So Torrey just tucked towards the end of the group. I think Martineau just squeezing in here. Izzy Torrey, wow, fixes all problems we're working on. Nick Sutton, dogs and tech issues and work, and yep, definitely always a bad combination when it all goes wrong. So Krishna Martineau just a little bit. That bus at the back working its way in through. Looks like Pip Morn and Mia Johnson at the moment. 12 seconds down on that group at the leading group at the moment. Foxy and Maz already distanced out the back of that group. That leading group is really motoring on at the moment, although they're not pushing massive watts per kilos. This course just breaking everything up. You can just see how they're going. So let's take a little bit of a check now. Foxy is tucked in here. So Foxy has got right at 10 seconds in front. Maz was squeezing on here. No, Maz not been too well. He's been better. I think Foxy and Maz aiming to a bridge across here. That's where Maz needs to tuck in behind Foxy. Foxy, very experienced rider, and well, now got quite a bit of capacity left in there. Let's take a little bit of a check. 137, yeah, plenty of beats per minute left to go out in there. Pipmon and Mia Johnson riding along nicely here, so do find a group and ride with them. I think Miss Cookie and Emma are on the way in. I think Pipmon only doing a couple of laps. Ooh, not like Pip. Mia Johnson giving it a kick there. So Mia, right, your mission is to get up the front. If you do have some jump in time, you've got about 13 minutes jump in time. But Mia Johnson on a mission now. She's got her work cut out. 19 seconds in front is Maz. A couple of seconds in front of that is Foxy. Nicholas Soden is dropping back, I'm sure, to help, because we know Nicholas bound to be helping the riders. Foxy's gone through like an express train, so has Maz. It's like Krishna Martin took it into the group there as well. Very nice. Which means that we're just going to take a little bit of a check back here. I think Mia Johnson is going to be making this very, very quickly. She's showing she's got some serious strength. So Pip Morn's going to do a couple of laps today, then jump off. So Pip, don't worry, you've got the Red Beacon bus on its way behind. Johnson is on her way up, kicking in to the group. The leader's just gone underneath the gantry and about to take left-hand turn, so separated by about 250 metres on the floor. Now, Soden, Torrey, Maz, Foxy chasing into the group. Let's see how close they can get. There is a trail of breadcrumbs for Mia to chase here. Pip, I think, is going to see the yellow beacon. That's the yellow beacon, the red beacon, sorry, in the yellow jersey. You'd think we'd have seen a change of care. So Miss Cookie tucks in nicely in there. Breadcrumbs are out behind. We've got Foxy, we've got Maz, I think we've got Izzy Torrey, we've got Nick Soden. They're all ready for this rider. And this is going to be a Mia Johnson who's on the way. Yep, the red beacon got to change from a yellow jersey to a red. So come on, Mia. You've got some riders in front of there to help you. They're going to give you a hand to get back in with the group. This is about jumping on board. You can just see that we've got Nick Soden in here. So Soden has got Johnson coming up behind her here. And Johnson is coming pretty quickly. Soden just starting to give it a little bit of a wind up here, not wanting to be caught out too much by the catch that's going to be made. This is going to be a push. There's Torrey, Soden, Lee, Suster, all at the back of these groups, all waiting to pick up our chaser. Here we go. I think Mia on a pretty lightweight bike here. We're just going to take a little bit. Yep, lightweight bike, lightweight wheels, which work great on the hills. Unfortunately, it doesn't work as well when you are on the flat and chasing. Now you can see that yellow beacon. Here we go. Nick Soden at 1 second, starting to come in to the fold. Soden's going to see Mia behind, not all that far to go, and Soden, I think, is just waiting to get Johnson on the wheels. Johnson now picks up the wheel. Here we go. So 1 becomes 2. They're now going to try and close down on Izzy. Sorry, that's going to be their next target. Let's have a little bit of a check. Pitmorn already down in with Miss Cookie and Emma from Full Speed Events, making the way up. Johnson with Soden. Looks like they've got Torrey in their sights now, so 1 became 2. They're now about to become 3. We've covered 1, but 2 more before we get into our final lap, making a total of 4 laps in total. Here comes Johnson, tucked in, got that group working now. And this is where the 3 of them really need to work. It's about 10 seconds at the moment. That group will take a right-hand turn and start to descend slightly. Brilliant to see this group together. Here we go. Now, can they make their way back to the group? It looks like it's Torrey and Soden. And they're just trying to keep in their key number. Punch number 6 on your keyboard. You get to look behind. In this case, if Izzy Torrey were to punch 6, you would see the train behind. Really key to see. And Mia Johnson just say thank you very much. Absolutely never a problem at all. Oh my goodness. Emma in the Full Speed Events studio. She's actually in Studio 2 today. There's commandeered Studio 2 to ride in. We could have linked in, but there you go. So here we go. Torrey on the way through. So it can be in the sky. There we go. Ding dong, mate, it's in the sky. Bam, 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 bam. Here we go. Look at this. What a catch being made here on the way in. Great ride there by Mia, by Nib, by Izzy. They've made the group. Gruppo Compacto on the way in. Let's take a little bit of a check up behind. So the main group are all together. That whole group all nicely packed together. In fact, they've gone shooting through to the front, so comfortable. Now let's have a little look. It looks like our red beacon doing a bit of a tow at the moment. A bit of a turn on the front. Far too drilled at doing the team time trial yesterday, clearly. On the way in here, nice and smoothly done, though the rejoins there. You have got a little bit of time left if you want to jump out and jump back in again. May well be worth just giving a quick post to Rebecca Conker. And Rebecca, I think, is going to see the riders coming up behind. So we are taking a look. These are the leading riders on the course at the moment. And they are just making the way around here. Just nicely going up this long drag. Now this is a long drag. This is the part of the course that you can see. We'll just pull down the main section here. So the bit that runs from right to left on the bottom here, that long drag is where they've gone over. They're now going down from 3k to 3.5k on that run down here, and this is where they're making that stretch on that group, because as you go over the top and in to that descent, that's where things get very difficult indeed. And that's why what we're seeing, you can see the gaps opening behind the main group. The group are not pushing. The riders at the back need to stay as tight as they can. If you let a gap go at this point in time, you will see that gap open out incredibly quickly. So it's really key to hold that back wheel here. So it looks like Karen and Martin just trying to get on there. So push hard over the top of the kickers. It really does stretch on every single little descent. Karen and Martino are going to be feeling that. Val Karen, Krishna Martino. The riders on that back of that group just having to squeeze in. Very tricky on the up and very tricky on the down. Very easy to lose. So it's key here. Do not let there be any gap. Imagine that you're on a elimination race or double set hammer, as it's called. Really interesting. This course is horrible. I agree. Who chose this course? Oh yeah, it was our Red Beacon. It was Emma. Maybe that's why she chose to be Red Beacon on it. I don't know. Maybe that she'll tell us why she chose this course. That'll be a long message, won't it? Let's see whether we can fit it all in. Oh, here we go. Dash it down, surprise please. Comment, keep it Donny, please. I wish the yellow beacon watched our socks. Goodness, you can tell it is a very Christmassy run. Excellent. Right. Let's drop back up to the front of the group and keep a check on the riders. They make their way in and through and along at the moment. And that pace just starts. They're just doing with Joanne Clegg. Let's have Joe back in. Lisa Kay in here. Mia Johnson back in, showing just how strong she is making that junction. Adele Suster in here as well. Mass in here. So the pace starting to lift. Just going to see the riders get onto the back. We're heading in towards that very tricky section, which is the leg snapper. This is where things get tough indeed. You'll see that as we go in our tactic UK rider. This on the way in, headed up onto the climb. So here we go. Will the group stay together on the way up? This is the second time up the climb. This is the second of 4 laps. I think we're going to see this group reasonably together. Just taking a little bit of a look at the top of the screen on our satellite view. It's looking pretty smooth at the moment. Not too many people being dropped off the size of that group as they come in. Looks like our beacon at the back, the red beacon, trying to see if they can snaffle up some more riders on the way through. I think Karen are likely to be the rider most likely to see our beacons. Our red beacon is coming pretty quickly indeed. The back of that main group just nicely tucked in. So just coming up towards the top of the climb at the moment here on the Women Only Wednesday by Full Speed events. And want to just say a very quick thank you to someone who has actually really helped us. So this t-shirt, Santa Claus t-shirt, along with a host of others, all came from one particular firm, from Bike Ninja. And Bike Ninja, Tim Bonnet, one of the real good guys of cycling, Bike Ninja taking a break. They're not going to be operating anymore. They are going to be having a sale after Christmas. So after Christmas, after the New Year, take a look out. There's some great kit on there. Support Tim, one of the good guys in the sport. Sadly, Bike Ninja not going to be any longer, but somebody who really has supported mountain biking and the sport and full speed events himself. So a massive thank you to Tim. And don't forget, you can pick up a whole host of goodies after the New Year from Tim. Keep an eye on the Bike Ninja website. He's going to be going on to Pastures New, which includes working for Retro GT. Absolutely fantastic bit of fun looking at the Retro GT site, so do go on to that. But let's get back into the riders to go over the top. You can see this group still keeping it together pretty much as they've gone over that sharp edge. The second of the climbs dropping down. It's looking pretty good. Let's just take a look a little bit further back. It looks like Martin, oh, good move there, dropping in the anvil. Really good move actually to utilise that on this downhill section. Going to carry some pace down there. Kicking it in and through, so nicely done. Last kick here will get you back, get in those wheels. It's 6 meters, remember. 3 bike lengths is the distance you need. May well be that we're going to need 1 or 2 people just to let the group stretch in front of them to get Krishna on the back at the moment. So this group at the front, nicely moving. You can just see, no sooner did I say, maybe we've got a few people heading towards the back just to give Martino a hand. Guess what? The tactic team are all over it. Absolutely. Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. There are rumours that they're going to have some new runs in the new year with the tactic team. But boy, you've got you've got to be good in there because not only are they quick, but they have very high standards in terms of personal attire. And even higher standards in terms of having fun. So you've got to be prepared to have fun if you're going to go join the team. It's going to be really interesting to see who can make the cut and join that team. The group getting quicker and quicker. We're just in with Nicholas Soden from that tactic team. Fox in here from the Rave squad. Looks like Isitori tucked in nicely as well. Right for the Aeonian squad and right as well for the tactic team as well. Angela Webster in the group down Houston tucked nicely in here. The Atticus guys going to be very interesting. Now Pipmon just up the road. Got Miss Cookie, and then Emma, and then Pipmon. I think the rider behind this is going to be Rosalie Cock. Rosalie making her way around. She's actually going to see the group come through pretty quickly, I think. And as we come in and around, Karen now just distance on that main group. We've got Morna behind her, Clay on the back of the group now. As that pace just starts to pick up, we're coming around towards the end of lap 2 of 4 on the Wow Chainagng. Don't forget, of course, we've also got the Donny Chaingang coming up tomorrow. Open to all riders, you just need to register. We do go through, vet those riders. Anybody who doesn't follow the rules, they don't make it back in again. And so we do check all of the riders on the way through. Tuesdays is members only. Members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang supporters club, and of course you can register to get all of the links for the Wow Chaingang. You don't have to wait for it to come up on the Zwift events. You can jump in, and very easy, it's across the bottom of the screen there, www.buytickets.at/fullspeedevents. It's free. All we do, we take your email address, we only use it to send you the links. It doesn't go anywhere else, we don't share it. We never will do. It just doesn't work like that. Even if you're in one of the competitions that we put on and you win, we don't give your address out. We give you the address for you to contact them, so that we are not sharing your address with anybody. If you don't want to take up your price, that's up to you. So really, really, really important. Jump on board, register, get the link sent directly as possible. Okay, looks like the group coming onto the wheel of Pip Mom. So Pip seeing the red beacon back all together again. Looks like the gang on the way in. So Krishna Martineau just on the back down here. Everybody is saying that Joe's crash. Now, Joe Clay is legendary for a particular crash at the round at Milnthorpe of the National Trophy. It was absolutely spectacular. It was a full face first into what was a very big puddle of mud, neck sideways, the full Monty. Fortunately, not too badly hurt, so really interesting that it has gone down in history. Can I play it? Yes, I actually could show you the picture if I had the technical skills to do so. Not sure my brain is working fast enough after having been recording the Crosscast yesterday, and it's out. Brand new episode of Crosscast. It is a Christmas special coming out. So if, like Pip, you're into your cyclocross, please download the podcast, share it with your friends, send it to your friends for Christmas. We have an extra special guest. We have the one, the only, the multi-time medalist at the World Championships, the multi-time national Dutch champion of cyclocross, the one and only Lars van der Haar, joining us as guest host on the Crosscast for Christmas, for the Christmas special. It is an absolute special. He's absolutely brilliant. Lots of great stuff in there. Some real insights, including his fantasy Christmas races to race and not race. Please do make sure you give it a download. Have a listen. Lars van der Haar is an absolute star. He is one of the real stars. Jump on board, download it, share it, please get it out there. We want to get it out and round. A Christmas special courtesy of Neil at Gritty, myself, Mert Payne, and Lars van der Haar on the Crosscast. You can link there from my linked in my Linktree profile. My Linktree profile is on my social media, which is at MattFixPayne. You can get there, you can see it, it'll be shared around, I'm sure. Emma will be sharing it at Biking Emma. So please do download it, look at it, share it, ping it around your friends, tell everybody about it. It's always good seeing now the pace just starting to hot up on the front here, starting to see more and more riders really under pressure at the back of the group here. Looks like Torrey tucked in with this group. 3.5 watts per kilo comes the call. We're on lap 3 of 4 at the moment as we head out over the river. This is going to be interesting now. Indeed, when will Aronson call it? We're not shedding too many bodies. Everyone seems to have got back so far, pretty much with the exception of 1 or 2. So Pip dropped back. Karen has just dropped off that group. You're going to be seeing the beacon coming in behind. I think the red beacon coming. It's not totally strung out as yet. Where will it go? When will it go? The only person who knows is our fantastic yellow beacon. I've got to say a massive thank you to Alison Kinlock. Alison is our yellow beacon. Had the pleasure of seeing Alison at the Yorkshire Cyclocross. It was great. Alison on the podium again. So let's have a look. It's going to be, in fact, tonight, apparently, it's going to be 3 H's and 3 O's rather than 3 G's and 3 O's because it is in the run up to Christmas. So it's going to be 3 H's and 3 O's. So when that happens, that is when you need to be absolutely all over it. But it's going to be whenever Alison chooses, because she is the rider who is in charge of the call. Our leaders, they get the pick of when they choose to make that happen. Now, Miss Cookie, Pip Morn, and Emma on their way nicely riding through. They've got, it's going to be Val Karen just in front, so Val is likely to see them coming into sight. A little bit of a gap. So likely to see them coming behind. At the moment, though, our leading group making its way along the bypass. So now the call was 3.5 from Alison Kinlock, and we know when we get to about that 3.5 marker that things get interesting around our beacons. So let's take a little bit of a look overhead. It's still as a big ball, and it's still swirling, still got that churn. The Kinlock keeping the wind up on there. This is going to be tough. I'm loving this for what we're about to receive. I'll be truly grateful. Yeah, I'm not surprised at our wowzers. You are going to find this is going to get tough because this is the bypass. This is where things get really tricky. Kinloch is keeping the pace high here. She does not want to let this drop back down again. And the yellow beacon is really putting the pressure on the riders before the trigger point here. And this is where they're looking like they're boxing cage. But I'll tell you something. They can't afford to let that gap go. We have had beacons ride off to take the win before now. You cannot afford to let that gap go. There are no rules to say that the yellow beacon can't win. In fact, they regularly do. So it does mean that when we reach that point, you need to be all over this. You need to be right on the ball, and you want to be right in there. Then starting to close that gap down now. Kinloch nicely squeezing on those pedals. Rear Mobs is in. They can see Rear back on the gang again. Another of our regular riders coming back time and time again. Rear, I'm sure, getting quicker and quicker. And in very familiar kit, because I spent a lot of time at the cyclocross, and Rear regularly rode down. She's very, very similar kit to the one she's got on there. Our riders are on the way around the turn, so here we go. They're heading in. It's not going to be long before they're in to the cobbles, and then they're going to be in to the section that takes us through the bridge and up on to that climb, just squirming their way in. So here we go. Into the back streets. Looks like just starting to lose a rider again off the back. It's I think it is going to be Krishna. I'll tell you something, Krishna has done a great job. Now that is a smart move. Now look, puts coffee in and watch what happens. No watts per kilo, coming back towards yellow. Absolutely smart, a smart move here. This is why you want the coffee break time. Using it to pull back into the yellow. Absolutely masterclass coming up here. All you've got to do is make sure you get the kick back in again just right, and it will bring you back in. Fantastic move done there. And that allows, and all you need to do is make sure you hit it at the right time when you come in and through. Proper masterclass of how to use the coffee break to hold your pace and hold you in that group. So we have just over a lap to go. We've got 4 full laps in total of this course. We're on lap 3, so we've got a lap and a half. Still got to go up over the top of the leg snapper. That is on its way up. Let's just bring you that in all of its glory. This is the sharp peak to the left-hand side of your screen. The climb that takes you up, as you can see from the colouring on our fantastic Velo Viewer segment. We're heading in towards that 10% marker as we go up on to the climb, and that is then a knife edge turn. We're coming around the little chicane, and that takes us in on that 90 right at the moment of what is 4.5k per lap. So 4.5k from the start line. So who is going to be taking it out? We're in with Nicholas Soden at the moment. Kinloch nicely holding the group together, and is still holding pace. But we're on to the climb. This is the penultimate time up here. At the moment, this group look to be pretty much together as they come up here. No real big gaps opening. Remember, it's the back of this pack, which is where you usually find the trouble is for riders. We're going to take a look. It looks like Suster at the moment and Johnson at the moment just starting to feel the pressure. They've got to keep squeezing now. If you get distanced here, I think you're going to be in trouble. You've got to be right in the back. So come on, Christian. This is great. So Krishna really working hard here to try and stay in with that group. The pace has hotted up. We've got Adele Suster and Mir Johnson at the moment. They're just starting to find the pace a little bit too hot. The gap has opened up, and Johnson now is having to try and bridge across. Mir's got some work to do here because this is the leading pack. Johnson is coming up at 4 watts per kilo, but this is the gap from the back of Sandra McKay on the way up at the climb here. The lead is on its way in towards the turn here. So Julie Clark right up at the front here. This is the swing around, and now the pace will pick up here in Innsbruck. The dive down begins. This is the faster descent off from the far side. This is going to be very interesting indeed. Now, could be really interesting if Alison Kinloch, our Yellow Beacon, were to call it on the sprint. We may well see the fastest sprint time coming in on those 3 Gs and the 3 Os. That would be an interesting move. I bet we get some very fast times. Now, it looks to me, just taking a little bit of a look at that. Now, riders, Clay has made the group. It looks like McKay has. Johnson has got some work to do. Very difficult now, Solo, to get back into the group in front. It's moving just out. Oh, the ho has gone. It's ho, go. It's time to hit the pedals. Look at the watts per kilo. Our Yellow Beacon is looking to make life hard for everybody, and they are in pursuit. Rear mobs, Joanne Clark. We've got the rest of the mob chasing here. This is going to be very, very difficult here to stay in here, because Julie Clark has kicked into the back wheel, no problem. So is Joanne Clay, so is Rear Mobs. We've got Foxy in there, Soden is in there. Now I think that we are potentially going to see 10 riders clear at the front. So 10 riders have gone. It means that Mazza, Mia, Adela, Krishna, Val, along with our Red Beacon group, they are now going to find their work really tough to try and get back up to the group. This is the leading group. Here we go. Now, there are no rules. This is about going as fast as you want. If you slow off, the riders behind could well make contact. Once again, one rider just being distanced by this group. And I think it may well be that this is Sandra McKay. So McKay just having to work really hard here. We can see just coming in through to make the back of that group. Can she make that junction? I don't know that she can. I think McKay is likely to find that unless she can really pull something special out, or her teammates are prepared to drop back, and it looks like that's what's happening. We've got Soden, we've got Torrey hanging about the back of the group. Sandra McKay trying to get back up to the group. Here's Sandra. So Sandra was going up, but it's not going to happen now. I think Pip on her way out here. So well done, Pip. Great to have you with us. Thank you very much for your help on the Elite and the Red Beacon. Pip Morn from Yorkshire, going to be taking a break, and have a great Christmas. And I'm sure we will catch up with you soon, Pip. Meanwhile, we're going to make our way back up to the front group. Soden just hanging around the back of that group, hoping to get McKay on. I think it's curtains for McKay now. That'd be a good colour curtain, given that she rides to the Tactic team. In fact, yeah, I wonder if you can get curtains in the same colour scheme as the Tactic squad. That would be very cool. That would be incredibly cool. A curtain in the colour scheme of the Tactic squad, but not made out like it, because that wouldn't be much use. A lot worse, believe me. So, Kinloch pulled the pin, called the ho, the go. Meanwhile, looks like we've got Maz and McKay in there. Tucked in together, so they are going to be working together, I'm sure. They've got Mia Johnson actually not all that far behind me. It could well make the junction to them. Then looks like Joanne Lee currently just sat on the back. Come on, Joanne, time to squeeze on here. Never mind thinking about saving anything for the Christmas party. You need to be on here. So heading in to the line, our leading group making the way up to the line. It will be one more lap to go at the line, if I've got my maths correct here, because we're going to finish at 35k. I think we are going to be pretty much about right. Let's pull that in through there. 35.4k should be our finish. That means with 8.8k of a lap, that's going to get us in absolutely smack bang on time. 1 lap to go for our leaders, 1 lap left to go for our leaders on the front. Looks like somebody's just dropped a burrito in the middle of that bunch, and that's going to do some damage here as they come in and through. So 1 more lap of our circuit. You can see that circuit on the left-hand side of the Lake Snapper climb could be critical. It's a long run back in from the leg snapper, though. For the riders, we're in with Joanne Lee, tucked in with that group, making the way round. This is still a strong squad, and it's currently numbering, I think that it's going to be 10 riders in total. So I get 9 as a 9's the number I'm seeing in there. I'm wondering if with McKay gone, that's taking it down to 9. Just doing a double check as we come through, but yep, 9 riders in the group. Time to think about who's going to be favourite here, who is going to be taking this. Alison Kinloch, are we nearly there yet? Yeah, the answer to that is yes. Remember, 8.8k a lap, we're into the last lap here. Alison tucked in here, doing a great job as our lead rider. Also the rider who's got the fastest time through the sprint. Group on their way through at the moment. Webster tucked at the back here, but where will this go? Who is going to take this? Is it going to be Izzy Torres a day? Is he on a day? A very, very quick, very strong rider, but do not discount riders like Alison Kinloch, our yellow beacon. Although we always say being a beacon is worth probably somewhere between 15 and 20% extra effort. Alison Kinloch has got plenty in reserve. Joanne Clay always very strong. The tactics squad can play team tactics though. And I wouldn't discount Foxy. Will the latest outfit for the rider from the Rave squad be the outfit of invincibility, or will it just turn into a wet paper bag? We will see. On the run into the climb, very cagey though at the moment. So tight right hand turn coming under the angle of the hotel here in Innsbruck on Zwift on the Wow Chainagng. Foxy now starting to wind up on the front of this group a little bit here. That's not enough to break clear. Quickly closed down by Alison Kinloch, who goes over the top there. Rear Mobs answers that move, and Mobs now sits in second wheel. Little bit of a gap opened up. Will these two push on? I don't think they're going to get a big enough gap here, but we are now onto this long drag that takes us up the flyover, up over the rail lines, over the river, and this long draggy climb can often be enough. Will it be enough today? We will see. It looks like just starting to see a little bit of a gap opening up. Foxy's gone from front to back of that group as it came around that turn. So Foxy now with work to do to come back in, pushing hard there. Drop to Burrito. There's nobody on your wheel, Foxy. It's not going to damage anybody off the back or around you, I don't think. So at the moment, Foxy currently clutching at straws, I think. Maybe needs a longer claws to grip into the group in front. I don't think he's going to pick the bucket of the group at the moment. Definitely under pressure. Joanne Lee 2 seconds in front. If Joanne were to be able to look directly behind her, she would see that Foxy's starting to get this at 3 seconds now. He's another rider who has lost contact. A little bit further back, you can see that Mia Johnson, Maz and Sandra McKay, group of three Musketeers, Now on the way through, they are ahead of Adele Suster, and Suster being chased by Karen. Then it's going to be the Beacon group on its way in towards the line. The lead group, though, has got our Beacon in. And are they thinking about putting their attack in on the Leg Snapper climb? It's a very tough place to go because everybody wants to nail it to the top. It's definitely survival of the fittest if the attack goes on that climb. But then you've got to make it count all the way in to the finish. The Wow Chaingang, well, at the moment it's looking good. I think we are going to see a very, very fast ride through indeed. So Kinlock at the moment leading this group out. Coming in towards that finish. This is what we want to see. This is where things start to get tricky. We're heading in towards the climb. It's a waiting game in this group. They're not kicking on at the moment enough to break this down. They're going to need to keep on pushing, get this wrong. They're going to get in trouble, get this right. They're going to be absolutely flying. And they're going to come nailing this in over the top. Who's it going to be? Who is going to blink first? They're on the way. Now, here we go. In with Kinlock. Kinlock leading it up at the moment. But look at this. There's a push coming. And that push is going to come. Rhea Mobbs at the moment starting to light this up. She's got a feather at just the right moment here. That's what you want when you're coming in to a climb. That's what you want to see. You want to be able to engage the feather, making yourself lighter. This is the last time up the climb, and at the moment, Rhea Mobbs has a gap. But look at this. We're now starting to see a kick as well as she continues to put the pressure on Tori. Now, Tori is chasing him. Mobbs has got a foot on the floorboard. Mobbs is going up there now. Tori sitting at 79 revs per minute. Mobbs kicking over the top at 100 revs per minute. She's got a little bit of a gap. You can see behind the damage that has been done by Rhea Mobbs. Tori is the nearest rider. Then it's going to be Sodden, followed by Webster. Then it's going to be Clark. Then it's going to be Kinlock and Clay. Lee's out of the running here, and this is all about being able to catch that group up. It is like dot to dot on the map. There are riders scattered across the slopes of Innsbruck. It's worse than a beginner's ski lesson on a black run at the moment on the slopes of the Leg Snapper, as those riders have at the moment been put under some major pressure. It's Mobbs, it is Tori who have the front two positions at the moment. Behind them, Soden and Webster are at 12 seconds. And that puts Soden in a very tricky position here because she's going to need to let Webster do all the work. She's going to be a loyal teammate to Tori, but Angela Webster's got a proper kick on her as well, and that means that Nicola Soden really has to think about how she's going to do that. I don't think any of our riders at the front, Emma, have got their antlers on, and that is quite simply because of the pace that they are moving. So it's Mobbs leading here, and I think Izzy Torres also playing that team card. I don't need to work, I've got a teammate behind. You want to go, you work, otherwise I'm quite happy to wait here at the moment. And the pace has come right off. Look at this, 2.7 watts per kilo, 1.9, 2.1, This is going to be very tactical. They've eased back off. We've now got 12 seconds. The gap, in fact, it's coming down to 11 as Webster really works to pull them up. And the one thing that will happen here is that there will be 2 tactical riders against 2 other riders, and that might even the odds a little bit. If they all wait too long, we've got Julie Clark not all that far off the pace as well. Kinloch is not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but time is starting to run out for those riders chasing our 2 leaders. Mobs at the moment just continues to squeeze a little bit harder. You just see Torrey moving back up, currently at sub 4 watts per kilo though. So 80 revs per minute. Ramos, of course, a national standard rider and very strong cross rider as well. That gap now at 9 seconds. It is coming down, and that is the work that's being done by Angela Webster here. Webster really working hard here to pull the gap down to the leaders. The leaders are about to come around the turn in front. You can just see, here they go. They're around that sweeping turn. They've made a start down on the return leg. Webster and co come around that same point. They have got 12 seconds to make up. Behind then, it's going to be Kinloch who's coming around with Clark immediately behind. Then it's going to be Clay who's heading into that self-same corner before we get a gap back to Lee, to Fox, to Johnson and co. But this is going to be an intriguing sprint here. They've opened the gap back up now to 13 seconds. They're starting to wind this up a little bit, but you've got to get your judgment right here. This is going to be a tricky one to call. Is it going to be Izzy Torrey, the known performer on the Donny Chaingang, absolutely class season this season from Izzy Torrey, but she's up against a dab and experienced racer, Rhea Mobbs. Mobbs in the all dark blue on that blue Tron bike. Izzy Torrey, well, she's riding in the multicolour. It's the Scotland tartan. That it is very similar in terms of the actual colour palette to the Tactic race jersey. This is going to be very interesting. Who will take this to the line? It's going to be led out by Mobbs. The gap back to Webster and Soden. Well, at the moment, they can see them because they can see the blue of the Tron bike in front. Then you've got Kinloch, who's not all that far off the pace, along with Clark. They're in 5th and 6th place. If they hang around too long, they could get caught back by Clay. But this surely is going to be about the run at the front. Mobbs has been leading this out. She forced the pace on the climb of the leg snapper. She's held the front. Torrey is sat waiting like a track sprinter, waiting to pounce to try and carry the momentum through. They are just about going to see that they've got no distance left here. The gantry is coming, and now Torrey opens up the afterburners. She's opened the gap up. It looks to me like she's got the gap here, but where? Oh, where is Mobbs? Mobbs has dropped out now. Mobbs has come alongside, and Mobbs took it. She's going to take the sprint. Rhea Mobbs goes for the ghost. She goes her way through. She led the breakaway up the climb. She goes the way through the line, and she takes the win over Izzy Torrey. Torrey takes the second place there. What a ride. Behind it's going to be Clark, who's going to go through ahead of Kinloch, with Webster and Soden going in ahead of them. Great riding by our riders coming through. It's going to be Joanne Clay, the next rider coming into the line. What a finish on the Wow Chaingang. Rhea Mobbs showing that she's got the sprint legs back. Goes away, gets the timing right. Mobbs made sure that there was no way that Torrey knew where to go. Fantastic tactic. And Izzy Torrey, cruel but great tactics, dropping the ghost. Fantastic to see. Now Lee is going to come up. She doesn't need to worry about the ghost. She is solo at the moment. The ghost of Wowster passed. Oh my goodness, that's got to be a dodgy Emma joke if there ever was one. Now, Foxy is here on the way, heading into the line. We've got Mia Johnson in here. And then a little bit further back, we've got Sandra McKay and we've got Maz. That could be a cracking little sprint here. So, Lee is through the line. Job done for Joanne Lee. Foxy on her way in to the line next. Heading in, it is going to be Foxy from Rave, another of our regulars on Chainagng. Thank you very much for being on the Chainagng so regularly, Foxy, and for helping so many riders over the course of that period. Next up is going to be Mia Johnson. She's lining up to see the line. Behind, she's got clear air to Maz and to Sandra. Next will be Suster, and then our Red Beacon group. So as our Red Beacon goes up the climb, Mia Johnson sees the banner in front. She knows that she's now heading into the last few hundred meters. And then it'll be time to spin those legs out into the blue banner that comes at 39 kilometers. A massive thank you to our Yellow Beacon, to the one and only Alison Kinlock for being our Yellow Beacon today. Great lead by Alison. Thank you very, very much. Meanwhile, we're going to drop back in with Maz and with Sandra McKay. Sandra McKay taking the sprint out there. So McKay goes through in 11th place. It's going to be Maz who's going to go through in 12th place. Great riding. Good to see both of you back on the back, and they're working as a team in towards their finishing line. Then it's going to be Adele Suster, I think, who is just ahead of our Red Beacon group. They're trying to make their way in towards that finishing marker. The gap's yo-yoing around. So Adele Suster, the next rider, just coming down through the streets here in Innsbruck. Don't forget, we will be back next Wednesday. Yeah, we don't get time off for good behaviour. Not sure what good behaviour is, but we will be back next week on the Women Only Wednesday. If you want to join in the fun, do make sure that you register, get jumped on board. You can register now all the way to the end of February, and then you don't need to worry about joining or missing the links. Just jump on board, send it to your friends, pass it around. We would love to see everybody on board on the Women Only Wednesday Chainagng. If you enjoyed it, don't forget, of course, that you can also jump on board with the Donny Chaingang as well. Donny Chaingang for members only on Tuesday, the Open Chaingang on a Thursday. We've got lots of events coming up as well. We're going to be on the mic on Sundays for the Sunday Race Club. We're going to be on the mic for Hulst for the cyclocross. And don't forget, guys, we also have the one and only Crosscast coming up. So that will be heading your way soon. So Adele's sister, just typing a Merry Christmas, Adele's sister going into the line. We're going to drop a ride on there for Adele, who's on her way in to the line. Don't forget there'll be a warm down as you make your way from the orange banner as Adele goes in and through. Now, we're going to just jump in at the moment with Sonica. Sonica nicely pedalling smoothly out there. Sonica's got a little bit further to go, but doing a great ride there on the Chainagng. We are going to take a little bit of a run back just to see where our Red Beacon group is with Miss Cookie. They're a little bit further back around the course. They're just on the way down in towards the sprint. So we're going to just do a quick finish on Sonica because when our Red Beacon finishes, we will be jumping off the broadcast. Sonica did a great job here in that Retro Z Peugeot kit today. And good to see Sonica lucky over going through. So good riding by Sonica here on the Donny Chaingang. We're going to jump in with Miss Cookie, who's tracking or trying to track the back wheel of our Red Beacon. Our Red Beacon clearly confused with our red and yellow today. Just wondering if there's green socks to go for the full traffic light option. So Cookie carrying that momentum through. Heading down in towards towards the sprint section. They're just carrying the pace past of the full speed events avatar, which is Emma Martin, our red beacon today. Our helicopter just up overhead. Seneca heading into the line here. So she's going to be able to see that banner coming up very shortly. So the red beacon, Miss Cookie now having to refine their rhythm and trying to work in tandem, as it were, as they make their way in towards the finishing line. Seneca on her way in towards the line, then the job done, and then we're going to be moving back across to our red beacon group. Seneca making her way in. Don't forget, of course, you can join us. We're back on the 26th of December. So we will be here on Boxing Day, bringing you the Wow Chainagng time to work off any of those mince pies. If you had a mince pie too many, there's no such thing in our household. Then don't forget, you can come and join us on the Wow. Watch out on social media. You can catch up with what we're up to. It's at Full Speed Events for the companies, at Matt Payne. It's actually at Matt Fix Payne for myself, and of course it is at Biking Emma for Emma Martin, who's on here. So Cookie chasing our red beacon in towards the right hand turn. They're not all that far from coming down into the line. So whilst they make their way down into the line, we're just going to keep our eyes on Miss Cookie. Quick reminder from me, whatever you do over Christmas, enjoy yourself, stay safe. Don't forget, if Christmas is not your thing, if you look at all this and go, what a lunatic, I quite agree. Personally, I hate Christmas. It's really, really crap time of year. And I really, really love getting out my bike. So for me, that's the only bonus. We get more time on the bike. There are loads of people to talk to. If you're having a tough time over Christmas, please, please, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We'd rather hear from you than not hear from you in the future. So please don't be alone over Christmas. Jump on the bike, get on Zwift, get on the bike outdoors, go to a cafe, go see people. If Christmas is not for you, if it's not your favourite time of year, because it's not for everybody. Meanwhile, two people for whom the festivities will mean but yet more frivolity and fun. It is the two heading in towards the line. It is Miss Cookie and Emma, Professor Emma Martin, who for a long time was the doctor of the Food and Fun Department, head of Food and Fun at Sheffield Hallam University, aka Service Sector Management, but basically Food and Fun. We have the head of Food and Fun, and we have, of course, Miss Cookie, who, let's face it, if you call yourself Miss Cookie, then you know that you've got to be up for having a fun time. Heading into the line. Yeah, imagine how fast they could race if they didn't chat. Imagine how fast they could do anything. Getting ready for bike rides, deciding what kit to wear, not leaving the bike behind in the car park when they go out for a walk, remembering to bring all the kit with them, all the usual things really that we all do. They just do it more. They are full speed, full on chatters boxes, and that takes a lot when it comes from me, let's face it. I know, imagine leaving your bike behind is an issue as well. I know, imagine just doing that. It's not worth it. Miss Cookie always won the Miss Cookie race. That is a scary thought. Or having one shoe with you. Yeah. So, here we go. On the way into the line. Are we going to see a sprint from the two of them? Cookie winding it up. Looks like Emma from Full Speed Events is in the distance behind. Not going to be able to pull that gap back now as come in. So it is going to be Miss Cookie who's going to come in ahead. Wins the Miss Cookie versus Emma Martin race there. On the way in and through. Well done to Miss Cookie. Time to spin those legs down. Going to say a big thank you to Emma. Emma, of course, not just our red beacon, but also organiser of the routes, planning the routes and the direction and where we're heading, and making sure that they all go in the right place. If you want to join us, don't forget, you can join at www.buytickets.at. You don't need to buy anything. You literally just get all the links sent to you direct, and that's your way of telling us what your email address is. It's also where you can join the Donny Chaingang supporters club. Join the Donny Chaingang on a registered ride. It's going to be where we are going to be putting some special events for members of the Donny Chaingang supporters club that are coming up in the new year as well. That's a little bit of a sneaky heads up for those of you who have watched to the end of the ride. But we're going to let our riders warm down. I am going to say thank you very much for watching. It's time for me to go ahead out and polish the runners on the sleigh, aka I'm actually going to go clean the bike up after having been on Zwift. I hope you are going to have a great Christmas, a happy New Year. Don't forget, make sure you talk. If you don't like that time of year, get out and do something different. Get away from it all, out on your bike. What better way is there to enjoy the middle of winter? If the weather's bad, jump on Zwift. You might well see us there. But from Emma, from myself, from all of the WOW Chain Gang, we'll see you on the other side. We'll see you on Boxing Day for the next Women Only Wednesday Chain Gang.